These five players can make you a heck of a lot of money in your fantasy football leagues. Best ball, dynasty, redraft, all of them. Name number one. The sheep are making noise, man. Calvin Ridley is ADP 57. In best ball, he is ADP 67. Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver one on the Tennessee Titans. The reports from OTAs is that Calvin Ridley is a lot more bought in. What does that mean? He's a little bit more motivated. Why? Well, considering he doesn't have Will Levis or Mason Rudolph throwing him the rock anymore, I'd be more motivated too if I had Cam Ward, the number one overall pick, coming to Tennessee. Who do they have? They have a league aisle monitor. They have Tyler Lockett. They invest in Shamari. Not anybody good competing for the wide receiver alpha role with Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley, let's not forget, in his last two seasons, he's played all 17 games. He hasn't missed any time. Yes, he's only averaged 60 receiving yards a game. Yes, his yards per hour run wasn't the best of his career. This guy was 2.5 yards per hour run in 2020. This guy still averaged, 12 PPR points, wide receiver 25, wide receiver. He was a flex play with the worst quarterback play you will ever see in your entire life. He has true alpha wide receiver one potential. And I think that Calvin Ridley can be a league-winning wide receiver option. The guys that he is going around, they have Calvin Ridley ranked after Devontae Smith, after Zay Flowers, after DJ Moore, after Garrett. There's a lot of guys where I think Calvin Ridley is a little bit more comparable than we're giving him credit for. Running backs in his similar range. We have a really good running back values, to be honest. We have David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, Caleb Johnson, Pacheco. So I'm all in on Calvin Ridley in a lot of my best ball drafts, especially where I think he can get some spike upside. Name number two, more spike week upside. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a league winner. He has the same risk as Christian McCaffrey, don't get me wrong. This is an aging 31-year-old receiver coming off of a 12.8 PPR point per game season. But taking away 2024, where he was the wide receiver 32, he was the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 6, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 6, wide receiver 3, 2, 5. This dude can be a league winner when Tua Tagovailoa is healthy. He averaged over 100 yards in 2022, over 100 in 2023, and his touchdown numbers were insane in 2023 as well. If the Dolphins offense takes a step forward, meaning they have a functioning quarterback with a head inside of their body, Tyreek Hill can be a league winner. His ADP on best ball is around 25. In ESPN redraft leagues, I like him even more, where his ADP is around 31. Why would I be taking anybody over Tyreek Hill? The names over Tyreek Hill are Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, who's the wide receiver 2 in his offense. James Cook is 8 spots above him. I'll be taking Tyreek Hill in all my redraft leagues. Next name, Javante Williams. Now, Javante Williams is a little bit dusty, but he did have 4.4 and 4.3 yards per attempt in his first two seasons in the league. Obviously, coming back from the injury, he hasn't been great, but the buzz around OTAs and training camp is that Javante Williams is taking the first team reps. Now, I know there was some Miles Sanders buzz as well. Miles Sanders is a nobody. Javante Williams actually had a really good prospect profile coming out of the draft. And Javante Williams, we saw it. We saw flashes of athleticism in his rookie year. He was the RB18 in that rookie season, RB25 in the 4 games he got injured in 2022, and then he's been dust ever since. Cowboys offense is going to be making it to the red zone with that great passing attack where they had George Pickens. I expect Javante Williams to have potentially some receiving upside as well, averaging 3 receiving receptions per game in 2024. Javante Williams has some pretty good upside. Next name is George Kittle. George Kittle is the tight end number 3 behind Brock Bowers, behind Trey McBride. Now, if we look at his PPR stats, he was the tight end 1. He averaged 15.77 PPR points per game, which he also did in the second from 2018 to 2020, years number 2, 3, 4 of his career. This guy's always been a top 3 scoring tight end when he's healthy. Now, health is a concern. The last 2 seasons, we've seen George Kittle pretty healthy. Like the last 4 years, 14 games played, 15 games played, 16 games played, 15 games played. If you tell me I'm getting 15 games played right here for George Kittle, I'll be a happy camper. This guy averaged 73 receiving yards per game. He averaged a touchdown every 2 games, 3.1 yards per route run, target share of 22%. Ayuk is still going to be, Ayuk's coming off the injury. He might be on the PUP is what the word is. Then you have Debo. Debo's gone. He's not there. Ricky Pearsall could take a step forward. McCaffrey's obviously going to eat into the target share a bit. But McCaffrey could be a good thing with more trips to the red zone. So I think George Kittle, the reason I like him, I think he has tight end 1 upside. And you see guys like Brock Bowers, ADP 19. McBride, ADP 20. George Kittle's ADP of 40. So a whole 20 spot discount on George Kittle with the same amount of upside. final name, Bryce Hall. I've been saying it all offseason. Bryce Hall in 2022 was the RB7. 2023 he was the RB6, and 2024 he was the RB17. Obviously, some of the stuff got worse statistically, but his worst season was RB17. In ESPN, they currently have him ranked as the RB20. That's right. This guy's never finished as the RB17 or worse. In fact, it only happened last year. So why are we thinking that Bryce Hall, if he bounces back a little bit, if he maintains, you're still returning value on the current price of RB20 at ADP of 51. Bryce Hall is behind Joe Mixon, behind James Conner, behind Chuba Hubbard, behind Kamara, behind Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is ADP 37 and Bryce Hall is 51. Give me Bryce Hall any day. I'm not worried about Justin Fields coming in. I think it actually might be an improvement because defenses will be kept a bit more on their toes. Now, yes, they're saying Isaiah Davis might get involved. They're saying Braylon Allen might be. Bro, are the Jets trolling? Bryce Hall should be the main focal point of this offense with Garrett Wilson, and those are my best sleeper picks to help you boys win your league. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Let's go win some fantasy drafts.